Hi, welcome to my channel, and I'm here to do my third spooky review for October. My spooky reviews basically entail that I'm reviewing a book that I read that might be a horror book slash thriller slash ghost story type of thing. So today the book that I am talking about is Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. I've heard a lot about this author, so I was curious and decided to pick one up during this month. I wouldn't really classify Home Before Dark as a thriller. I would classify it more as a haunted ghost story or maybe even a mystery. And before I tell you any more of my thoughts, this is a spoiler-free review, so I will not be spoiling anything about what happens if you haven't read this book yet. In Home Before Dark, we're following Maggie, our main character, and she's a woman in her, I think, early 30s, and she's just inherited a house from her father who just passed away. Now, with her family, there's a backstory that pretty much drives the whole plot of the book, and essentially when she was younger, her parents moved into this house, this particular house that she just inherited, and something happened there. So they ended up fleeing the house only after a couple weeks, and then her father wrote a book about it, kind of like the Amityville Horror, where he's describing all the haunted or mysterious things that happened to them while they lived there until they finally decided that they had to leave. Now that Maggie's grown up, she kind of feels like she can't relate to the person or the little kid that she was during that time, so the time that the book was written about, and she believes that everything that her father said in that book was a complete lie. So she's really anxious to get back to the house and uncover the mystery and decide or figure out all the haunted things that he wrote about in this book. Are they true? Did they really happen to her? Or was he just embellishing the truth to become popular as an author? I think this book was average. It was decent. The writing was fine, and it didn't feel like it was a chore to get through. And I was able to finish this book really quickly because the writing was really easy to read. And another positive of this book is it's pretty engaging. There are a ton of twists and turns, so you're always kind of not sure what's going to come next. So it keeps you engaged because it keeps you thinking, like, is this stuff true, isn't it? And you're flipping back and forth throughout the entire book, and I'll tell you, the ending comes out of nowhere, so you're not going to expect, I don't think, or figure out what's going to happen before the end. Like I said, this book was decent, but unfortunately my con list is a little bit longer than my pro list for this one. So first of all, if you're looking for a book that's going to be kind of horror or spooky or scare you, this is definitely not the one. It's more of a mystery, honestly, so what drives the plot is going to be things like her uncovering more clues, and it's not really going to scare you with what happens. And I know I mentioned this kind of as a plus because the twists are going to come out of nowhere and surprise you, but I also didn't like that because I felt like in a good book you kind of get some foreshadowing, or what happens might make sense, but I feel like the author just put in way too many twists, and some of them came way out of left field that you're just like, why? I didn't need this in here. It's just adding more confusion when you don't really need it. Also, most of the side characters, and there are quite a few of them, they're pretty one note, so they're really forgettable, and they even make a point to have her have like a BFF character and a slight love interest, but they rarely come up in the book at all, so they're kind of like characters that didn't need to be there. They didn't add anything really to the story, so I wish that we had less characters but more backstory for them so we could actually care about them a little bit. And as for our main character, Maggie, let me just say that you can tell she was written by a guy, okay? So she has this kind of, I can do anything that a guy can do attitude, but it comes off, I don't know, it's just not authentic. It doesn't sound like her thoughts that we read in the book. It doesn't sound like it's coming from a real female's point of view, at least in my opinion. So, yeah. It's kind of like he put that in there to show, yeah, I love ladies and they can do anything a guy can do, but he can't write a real female character and make it believable. So overall, as far as a rating, I gave this one 3 out of 5. It's not a bad book, but I think it does have some big faults that make me think it's just average. But if you're looking for a mystery book that's not going to scare you, this is a good one for you, I think. That's it for my review on Home Before Dark. I'm actually trying to get one more of these spooky reviews out before the end of the month. I only have a couple days to do it, but I'm actually reading Something Wicked This Way Comes, and I've never read Ray Bradbury before, so I'm about 3 or 4 chapters in, which isn't a lot, but it's interesting so far. It's unique. So if you want to see that review, stick around and subscribe, and other than that, I'll see you later. Bye.